Let us discuss the next question now. This is from the year 2023. Which one of the following statements best reflects the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? So here the keyword is the chief purpose. Statement A, it determines the objectives for making of the necessary laws. Statement 2, it enables the creation of political offices and government. Statement 3, it defines and limits the powers of the government. Statement D, it secures social justice, social equality, and social security. If you read the question once, you will think that all of these are the purpose of constitution. Yes, all of these are there are mentioned in the constitution somewhere, or it is related to the constitution somehow. That is why you need to identify what is the keyword here. The keyword here is what is the chief purpose, what is the main purpose of the constitution. Statement 1 says it determines the objective of making the necessary laws. Now, why is there a constitution in a country? The constitution is there in a country so that the country can be governed as per the constitution and not as per the arbitrary whims and fancies of a particular government which is in power. So the very fact that the constitution puts some restrictions on the government, it puts some limitations on the powers of the government. That is where it begins. And after that, the constitution will make sure that how the people are to be governed, what should be the laws which are applicable. It will also give the brief framework about how the country should be governed. It will also have something related to the social justice, social equality, affirmative action for certain vulnerable sections of the people. It will create the political offices and what are the powers and functions of them. So all of this will be there. But the starting point is we need a constitution so that the country can be governed as per the constitution. And why do we need that? So that the government, whoever is in power, they don't act arbitrarily. There should be some restrictions, some boundaries on the limitations and the power of the government. So that is the main purpose of a constitution. Now let us look at the statements. Statement A, it determines the objective for making of the necessary law. Is this a purpose? Yes, but is this the chief purpose? No. Statement B, it enables the creation of political officers and a government. Does the constitution mention something about creating the political officers and government? The constitution does talk about creating certain authorities and the nominal heads and the real heads and their functions, but is it the chief purpose? No. It defines and limits the power of the government. Yes, this is the main purpose of the constitution. Statement D, it secures social justice, social equality, and social security. Yes, this is done by the constitution, but is it the chief purpose? No, it's not the chief purpose. So here the keyword was to find out the main purpose of the constitution. Now let us look at the in-depth explanation. Constitution for any country is the supreme law which determines the relationship about how the people in a territory are governed and also what is the relationship between the people and the government, how that is governed, that will be contained in the constitution. And the main purpose, the chief purpose of this written document, the supreme law, is to put some limitations on the powers of the government so that the government doesn't act arbitrarily. Because we don't know what kind of government will be there at what point of time. So we should put some restrictions on the powers of the government so that they don't take arbitrary actions. And in political science, the concept of constitutionalism arises. Constitutionalism means it's a thinking, it's a doctrine which says that the government's authority itself is determined by the constitution. The government derives its powers from the constitution, and because of that, there will be some restrictions put on the government. So ultimately, the implication of that is the limited government. That is, the powers of the government are limited by the constitution. This was the main purpose. The other functions are it protects the individual rights, it ensures checks and balances in the government administration, it will safeguard the rights of the citizen, it ensures that both the government and citizens are subject to the law, it will provide from social justice and equality, all of this. But the main purpose is it defines and limits the powers of the government.